the gentleman was like, "Are you mixed?" And she was like, "No, I'm black." He was like, "Are you sure you're not mixed with something?" And she's like, "No, I'm black. Why are you asking me this?" And he was like, "I just have never known black people to have long hair."
Hi, welcome to this edition of Real Talk with TAS OnJerya. I hope everyone is having a great evening. We are, and we are always excited to be with you because I never know what Anjay is going to be talking about. Because, she always got a lot going on. Not that I don't have a lot going on, but I mean, her stuff be so juicy sometimes. I'm like, gosh, you got to figure out how you can share some of this, but share it the right way so that folks can get a little bit of tea.
Hey, honey.
Well, girl,
Look at it.
look like your hair is
Look at it.
flowing. You know, mine used to flow like that, but I'm going short these days.
Oh, bless you.
Well, yeah,
I done picked up where you left off. Okay.
you sure did. You sure did. It's looking good. So you got your hair blown out and it's just blowing and all that. I love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I truly, truly appreciate it. People keep asking me, is it a wig? I'm like, does it look like a wig? Does it look like a wig?
Well,
Like,
I don't see the lace front there. I just don't see it. But
mm, there's some gray right here. Y'all see that gray? You see
well,
that gray right there? Ooh.
well, if you're just gonna try to show it all out, why don't you just part one of them sides that where you're showing that gray, and just open it up so everybody can see it, and
You
then
want me
maybe
to, darling.
then
Sis,
you'll feel pretty good. I Claire,
look at
everybody
that.
feels pretty good
Look at
about
that.
it. Okay,
Look at
okay,
that. All
okay.
right. All right.
You know,
Okay. Let me
yeah.
try to smooth it back out on this side. It's because the part is not parting. Because I have, quite a few permanent parts.
I know.
So that's why you got the little zigzag right. Yes.
I know. I always try to alternate or something because otherwise, I had that permanent part and, my hair does what it wants to do and I just go with it. It just lets me tag along and that's just the way it is. But, it's interesting that you're showing that, that you just got your hair done. I remember many moons ago, several incidences where one, and it was a family member. My hair was texturized, guys. You know when your hair used to be texturized? And so when my hair was texturized, it was probably longer than yours, Andrea. It came to like the middle of my back.
Yeah.
And so I remember a family member, every time they would see me, they'd be like, "Is that your hair?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I never understood it. And then I was working in the schools and this parent, I'm walking down the hall, school counselor, talking to this parent that it's alternative school, and the lady pulled my hair. And of course, when she pulled my hair, my head jerked. I'm like, okay. Then I remember another family connected member. Her husband was my grandfather's first cousin. And I was uptown in BC Moores. So the folks that's from Aston County, that's been a minute. So that was some time back. I was up there at BC Moores. Hi, Leandra, 6624. Thank you for joining us. And so I was in BC Moores and she pulled my hair. And of course my hair jerked again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I dated somebody years ago and he was like, well, if they bought it, it's theirs. Let's talk about hair.
Right.
And I agree with him. And so my thing is, I don't know, and I've thought about it over the years, because I'm natural, meaning guys that I don't have a relaxer, I don't have a perm in my hair. And when I asked my stylist, probably almost 13 years ago now, I'm like, well, I call Mama, y'all know Mama, and Mama, you know Mama, and I'm like, Mama, you think I could be natural? Mama, I don't see what I need to explain what natural meant, because get off the permanent crack and relaxer crack, I should say. And so she was like, I don't see why not. And I was on my way to get my hair done, and there was an AKA event that I was going to be going to that weekend. And so when I got to my stylist, I said, I want to go natural. And she's like, okay. I'm like, now what we got to do? And she's like, da 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 da. And so that she did my hair then. And that was the first time that she did it. And she did not, because I really needed a relaxer, but we didn't do it. And so, people had you to believe that you would have to cut your hair out, meaning
Right.
this, that if you were going to transition, that they would cut out all they cut your hair to remove all the relaxed hair. Well, we didn't do that. She just would, straighten out with the hair dryer the new growth. And so over time, of course, with trimmings and things of that nature, all of the relaxed hair was cut away. But I remember folks when I said, well, I'm natural. You natural. Yeah, natural. And I thought about it over the years, and I don't want to raise this, but I'm gonna raise it. I think that given my complexion, one, they couldn't believe that it was my hair when it was longer. They just didn't see that, and my hair was long before it was texturized. They just meant that I didn't do nothing to it, so it just got better. It just got longer because I don't do hair. You can see that now. I don't do hair. And then when I didn't have that, and I went to the relaxer, I don't do hair. But then once I became natural, it was like you don't have a relaxer? No.
Right.
And it's like every I don't need a relaxer, you know. And then we get this thing about the texture of the hair and this and that. But again, it's like, just because I'm not light, white, almost bright, well, I'm just so tough. I'm not light,
Right,
bright, almost
right,
white.
almost white.
Or like some of the people in our family, I'm not red,
Right.
meaning red, I'm not a red complexion, I'm not very, very fair. It doesn't mean that the texture of hair that runs through my bloodline skipped me. It didn't skip me. I just happen to have more melanin in my skin than some of the others. And it's just always funny to me how people think that even in this day and age,
Right.
that I'm making a generalized statement, guys, that some Black people cannot grow hair, that our hair is so tightly coiled that it has to be relaxed. But the thing about that is, I'm not talking about people who are not a part of the race. I'm talking about Black people, and we come in all shapes, sizes, colors, and you see that throughout the fabric of your family. And it's just amazing to me that we still have family members
Yeah.
who just can't understand that. Yeah, and you've heard me say, I'm going to hop off of this, but Malay has always had long hair.
She just
Malay
didn't
knows
take care of her hair.
huh?
She just didn't take care of her hair.
Take care of it. She's always had long hair, always. But she didn't take care of it. And yeah, she's about a shade lighter than me, but still, But anywho, but your hair looks really good though.
Thank
I want to
you.
just pay you that compliment.
Thank
Because lots of times you have it braided, and I know folks think, well, since you have it braided all the time, that it may be long, but it's the braid. But no, it's your hair.
Right. And the reason why we're even talking about this, guys, because I know I know y'all just not got to be talking about hair. Yeah, we are, because I saw a reel and the lady was talking about how she went to go get her oil change.
Okay.
And the gentleman was like, are you mixed?
Mm.
And she was like, no, I'm Black. And he was like, are you sure you're not mixed with something? And she's like, no, I'm Black, Blackish, Blacker, Black.
Okay.
Why are you asking me this? And he was like, oh, because I just have never known Black people to have long hair. So, of course, when I saw that reel, I was like, oh, I can definitely relate to that. Because again, as someone who, as I stated recently, I said, this is probably the longest that I've ever actually have worn my hair out.
Yeah.
For that reason, is because it's always the conversation of, Is that your hair? And for those that know me in my real life, I got a
Yeah.
smart mouth.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I got I love colorful language, you know,
Mm, mm, mm.
but in the words of my parents, we don't cuss.
So let me ask this, Angelia. Was the gentleman in the reel, was what ethnicity was he?
So the lady that was doing the talking, I don't know what ethnicity the gentleman was that was at the place where she was getting the oil change. But, the lady that was doing the talking, of course, she was black. And, she was just, continuing to go on to say about how it's disappointing that it's this stereotype that we as a race of people, everything is just fake about us, like
Mm,
from our
mm.
head down to our toes. And I'm just like, baby, whether you grow it or whether you pay for it, it's yours.
Yours,
Does
yeah.
it really matter?
Mhm.
Does it matter? Like when I see people with those long lashes, I'm not gonna say, girl, did you go get some lash extenders? Did you did you get some lash extenders? And the only reason why I can talk about them lash extenders is because again, at work,
Right. You and your job.
woo, we doing these icebreakers,
Mm-hmm.
getting to know your people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the people, the conversation today was like, we were talking about COVID, like basically, did you learn something new? Like, did you pick up a new hobby or whatever during COVID? And so this person was talking about how they have like very short, thin eyelashes. And I was like, I can agree because again, mine are very short, very thin. And she was like, to make her eyes pop, she would always do the lash extension. So, of course, during COVID, everything was shut down,
Yeah.
right? So she was like, they kind of, I guess, like they grew out or either they fell, I don't know. But anyway, because she wasn't getting whatever the treatment is that's required, eventually, what she realized is that her lashes were damaged. So not only did she lose like the lashes that that would have been a part of the extension, she then lost her natural lashes. So she was like, for a year, she just looked like she didn't have any, like, it looked like, what did she say? She said it looked like she had been burned, like her lashes
Mm.
had been burned
Yeah.
off. I said, ooh, I can imagine that was very interesting, but um, again, even with that, it's like, why does it matter? Why does it matter to you? It's like India Ari says, I am not my hair.
Right here.
I am not the skin. I am not your expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So why does it matter? Why can't we just compliment people and say, oh, I love your hair, keep it moving? Why we got to go in and dive a little bit deeper about, well, tell me about your bloodline. No, tell me about yours. Do you know yours? Do we know your ancestry? As I sip on tea, because I've been following one of our cousins. I have to tell you that offline. I've been following one of our cousins from the Bennett side of the family,
Okay.
um, who recently did the family tree, and so now
Okay.
she's working on her husband's family tree, and so she's been kind of giving us like what's like updates of what's going on. So yeah, I have to tell you about that offline.
Okay.
But
Okay.
again, my thing is, why does it matter? Why is it that because I am not the color of this napkin, right? Because back in the day, and our parents, because our parents are pushing 80, if you couldn't pass that brown paper bag, and this is basically equivalent to the color of a brown paper bag, if you couldn't pass that, then you were too dark. And I think what's really interesting is that as I'm looking at you, see my whisker waving over on this side, and your whisker waving on.
And let me tell you, I have, I don't do much, but I have pin curled it. It won't stay down. I have tried to flat iron it or bump it or whatever people say. It still will not get in formation. I have rolled it back like this, and it just will not. and you're not looking. It looks better not being. And I know my stylist gonna get me. Go right ahead. And I don't know what we're gonna do with that piece of hair. But like you said, it's my whisker, I guess. He just won't lay down. Won't get information. It says it's got a mind of its own. And I have learned the power of love. I've learned to respect the hair. Because you can keep trying to force it to do something, it's gonna do what it wants to do. And I think as I'm getting older, it took a while for me to understand because I grew up in an age where what is a woman's hair is her crown? Am
I
I
think
saying that
so.
right? And so, you know, it was all about the hair. Uh, it was all about the hair. And so I didn't really want to cut my hair. I like layers, but I didn't want to cut my hair
Right.
to get the layers. And so it's funny. My spouse, she talks to me all the time. She been talking to me for years. But I walked in and I don't know what I wanted. And she said something. And I said, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. And now, granted, I do trust her, guys. I said, do what you want to do. And she cut my hair. And the first time she cut it that short, I think it was right before I did the photo for the cookbook. And it's amazing. I like that. I like it that, and I never thought I would say this. So I'm saying it publicly. She'll see this at some point. I like it short. But she had been telling me, blah, 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 as you age, you really should think about cutting your hair. But when I walked in that day, I said, just do what you want to do. Just do what you want to do. And I'm the type of person, even when she would put my color in, I would look at it, but I'm like, yeah. But I would tell her what I wanted. But I never liked it. It would take a couple of weeks, and then it would be like, oh, I like it now. And so, but when she did that cut, and I looked at it, I said, I like it. And now it's like, I'll tell them, like, don't we need to, can we trim me up? Can you give me my cut? And then she's like, I am tired of you. You didn't even want me to cut your hair. Now you're like, can you give me my, can you, I'll go and be like, don't we need to, because I'm going to tell her, I think I told her that last time, I'll probably tell her again in a day or two. Do we need to trim it up a little bit? Because I like it. But that took time. But I wonder how much of how I was raised, how much societal views at that time influenced what I thought my hair needed to look like, the length, the this and the that. Because I'm sure, it impacted how I thought about, even asking the question, could I be natural? And if you think about it, mama is natural.
Yes,
so
she is.
I just thought about that. It's like a stupid question. Why did you ask her, could you be natural? She's always been natural.
And she has. And the funny thing is that, this is that time, where you don't want to listen to your parents, but, you should listen to your parents. I mean, she's always said, don't mess over your hair. Like, whatever you do, don't play with your hair. Don't let, be mindful of who is playing in your hair. Because, again, we're very big on energies. And, everybody doesn't have good energy, and again, depending on, people's circumstances, jealousy and all of that, people won't do the proper treatment and take care of your hair because, again, yes, I agree with that statement. I do think that it is that, a woman's hair is her crown or whatever that saying is.
Glory or something like that. Crown of glory.
And we are very conscious of that. Reason being is that, when we meet someone, right,
Yep.
that's kind of one of the compliments that comes along with it. Yes, they may be like, oh, I love your eyes. Oh, I love your lips. Other features, but one of those features is going to be, oh, I love your hair. Like I love the way that it's styled. I may love the color, or whatever it is. And so, yeah, we were definitely raised to, you really shouldn't be putting anything in your hair because your hair really doesn't require a lot. And I understand that to a lot of people, because I've had this conversation with family members and they're like, so you put absolutely nothing? I put absolutely nothing. Like, no oil, no grease,
Mm-mm.
no cream.
Mm-mm.
I don't deal with it. Like if I'm not having to be out amongst the crowd, this thing stay wrapped up. Okay, now it stay wrapped up. But and I appreciate that because it goes back to taking care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, taking care of the full package, which is your mind, body, your soul. Because a lot of people that I've come across, it's a very touchy subject when you get to talking about, certain things, whether it's, your hair, your nose, your eyes, your ears, your lips. It's like we're so quick to want to just change everything. And it's like, now there are some instances where I understand, there's nothing wrong that, maybe you want braces because you don't like the overbite or you don't like the underbite or you got spaces or whatever the circumstances are. Okay, there are those instances where yes, that is needed, right? But when you're making these other changes, you have to question, am I making the change for self or am I making the change for everybody else? And I think a lot of times we get caught up in the hype, right? Because we see like, oh, the IG models, I want to be like that. And it's like, but everybody can't be like that. I know the new fad is the BBLs, and then now people are getting that removed. They're getting it, now they want to enhance their breast. And it's like, again, why are you doing that? And I think that's really what the whole issue is when we get the question of, is that your hair? It's the fact of, why don't mine look like that? Because God didn't create you like that. And that's no shade. That's all facts. He created us in his image, but he created us all different. We have different genes, different DNA. Like there may be things that you have that I'm like, ooh, it would be like Alexis. Prime example. Alexis be like, don't call them poof. I'm like, well, that's what they are. But she's like, don't call them poof. But I'm like, my hair will not do that. I think it's so cute when she has her little afro puffs. It's so cute. I'm like, but baby, my hair not gonna do
My
that.
hair's not gonna
It's
poof.
not
Not like that.
gonna do that. And it's like I don't feel no kind of way. I'm not upset. I'm not like, God, why you didn't make me? Because he didn't want me to have hair like that. That's gonna do that. And I'm perfectly okay. But it doesn't mean that I love like I dislike her,
Mm-hmm.
right? Any less just because my hair won't do it. No, I like people that can do that. Like that was one of the things that I feared the most about going natural was I don't do hair and I can't do a puff. I can't do a fro. I can't do any of that. My hair's not gonna do that. So because I was used to when I had the relaxer rocking a doobie. And for those that know what a doobie is, I don't even know if they still doobie
I
now.
don't even
So
know.
basically, so I don't like curls. You can see the ends are curled, right? I don't like tight curls because now I'm dating myself, but it's okay because we raw and real here. And if I had a picture of it, I would definitely post it in this video on the playback. We might try to find one. But when I was probably in like third or fifth grade, I had the Wave Nouveau.
Oh yeah, I do
I'm
remember
sure you
that.
do remember.
Yeah, I do remember way back when you did. But oh, well, maybe you said third or fifth grade. Yeah, maybe about fifth or sixth grade.
Yes,
You
about
did.
56. Girl, I was dripping.
You
I was
did.
looking like, oh boy, on Coming to America when his
You were
family got off
juicy.
that couch.
You were juicy. Okay. Okay.
I don't regret it.
Well, those were the
But
times.
it was the time. But again, it was that, how do we get her hair to grow? Because again, I no longer wanted to do the relax look. And so we went with that and that didn't work. And then I went back to the relaxer. But then my style was the doobie. and I rock the doobie. And so for those that know and those that don't know, basically it's where you have the roller set in the center in the crown,
Okay.
and then they wrap your hair around and they sit you under the dryer. Yeah, yeah, throwback, right? Right.
I never wore the doobie.
Really?
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm basically the same motards. I've been the same. You know, I remember this straight and count, press and count, well,
Perfect tone.
straight and count, the
Straightening
press
home.
count. Yeah, yeah, that's what we call the straight and count. Straighten, say it for me.
It's straightening home.
Straightening comb, and then the press and curl. With the hot curls that you put in the little thing, or either you put it on the eye of the stove. And so I remember that because that's what was done. And then when I went to college, I got a relaxer. You know how that went. Johnny did the styles, but I don't know how to do hair, so that didn't work well. And then I eventually transitioned and got my hair texturized, but I didn't drip because I didn't put a lot of product on. Because and it's funny we were talking about this because I didn't require the amount of product that other people, I guess, required. And I wore that for a long time. And then I transitioned into relaxed hair again. And one person did it, and then maybe my current stylist did it once. Maybe the other person did it maybe twice, but not that many times. And then my stylist, I think she only relaxed me once. Because, and the thing that I transitioned to natural, I was sitting there watching, because I don't do hair. I was sitting there watching her do those people's hair. And I'm like, and I would ask questions. I'm thinking, I should be able to do that. But then my thought was, okay, what do you do when it's raining? What do you do? Blah,
Right.
blah, 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 blah. Well, I try not to get wet, but what I found is it's not that unless I'm in a downpour, it's not that my hair is what's going to happen is my hair is just going to get flat. Unless it's it'll look more like your hair right now. It'll just get flat. It won't have any body.
Really?
That's all. You haven't you noticed? Think about when we were in Brazil, when we were in Argentina, when we went into the Amazon. Don't you remember? My hair just got flat.
Yeah, it did
It just got
just get flat.
flat. And of course I couldn't do nothing with it. It just got flat. It didn't. I mean, it was in the Amazon, so it's all the moisture and all that stuff, and then on the back of the Jeep, no, it just gets flat. That's all. And once it's flat, it's like your hair. So it's going to be flat. So that means it's flat. And I don't like it flat. But that's what happens. But I worried about what would happen if I got wet and this and that and so forth and so on. But I'm so used to it now. It does what it does, whatever.
You thought you were Cinderella, didn't you?
What you mean?
That if you at midnight, if something happened, you don't turn back into a pumpkin.
You guys see what I say about OnJerya. I just can't with her and her stuff. Yeah, I thought I was Cinderella, and I guess the rain and stuff was gonna be them wicked, them stepsisters. Yeah, and the humidity and all that, because it does impact my hair. But now I'm like, whatever. I mean, I don't have a choice. But again, yeah, I did that. I thought I was Cinderella, and I was gonna turn into a pumpkin because of the humidity and the rain. But but watching her, I realized that I could be natural. But Anjay, when I think about where we are in 2025, and my thing is stronger in 2025, and you hit it about that, looking at ourselves from a holistic perspective, it's coming to terms with who we are. And I don't want to go too much in it, but because we had this conversation a lot, I don't think we've had it recently here, though. The three of us are all very different.
Mm-hmm.
We are very different. And right now, guys, I just want to talk body build. We are very different. I have always been bottom heavy. When I was bigger, I was bottom heavy. It was just bigger.
Yeah,
I've never been top. Oh, yeah, yeah. What'd you call me, Big Judy?
Big booty Judy.
Yeah.
Big booty.
Yeah, yeah. Big booty Judy. And I've always been bottom heavy. That's the way I refer to it. Bottom and thighs, not hips. But you would think I'm hippie, but I'm not really hippie. I got bottom and I got thighs. You know what I'm trying to say? Mama is hippie.
Yeah.
And you can see it when she was younger and she had her, and she was smaller. She was hippie. She doesn't have a bottom.
Okay.
Then with Marley was top heavy, but she was not bottom heavy at all. She was
Okay.
top heavy. She could share it with all. She had breasts for days. Then we get to you. You- You're top heavy, and you're sort of hippie.
Yeah.
You're top heavy and you're hippie, but we're all versions of mama. Um, you know what I'm saying? We're all versions of mama, but we're all different. And I bring that up for the Three Stooges because she said it would be like three peas in a pod. But the Three Stooges here, I bring it up because in 2025, whatever your skin is, you have to be comfortable in it. You
Yeah.
can't look for other people to validate your worth. You can't look for other people to say, oh, well, that looks great. If you don't know that it looks great yourself, having someone else tell you that doesn't mean too much. Hi, Mike, 4RM. I can't pronounce the other part, but thank you for joining us. If you're looking for other people to do that,
Right.
then you're missing the boat because, and the reason I've been talking a lot about this and thinking a lot about it, when you look for someone else to validate you, when they no longer validate you, who are you? Are you going to crawl up in a ball and cry and die? You know what I mean? Not a
Yeah.
literal death, guys, but just crawl up and just become a shell of who you were. Because you think about, things are fleeting.
Yeah.
Relationships are fleeting. People like you today, they don't like you tomorrow. Um, you know, you got to get comfortable with yourself. And I just believe in 2025, this is the year for finding your space where you can thrive. But that takes work. And, it may seem like, well, you go from hair to physical, but it's all part of it. And as you said, when people meet us, they see us coming. But, sometimes the beauty that people see is not the physical beauty.
Right.
It's the beauty that you have on the inside that radiates out. And you can be beautiful on the outside too, but that's not what they see. And that sort of beauty comes from being true to yourself, loving yourself in spite of the things that happen to you, things that you do to yourself, the way life unfolds, because life is always life, and as you like to say. And I just believe that if we are to live up to our fullest potential, we have to get to a place where we'll stand our ground in every aspect of our life. And yes, some people say, you're talking boundaries, I'm talking about a whole lot of stuff. Because people don't understand boundaries.
They don't.
Because I feel that what I'm talking about is the most important thing. It don't matter what you got to do. No, what did I say? Some other, I think it was a TAS moment. You have to teach people how to treat you, but you got to teach yourself that you are worthy of being treated a certain way.
And you also can't say everything that's on your mind, like it's on your mind too. Because I
No.
mean, that filter is hard. Because I mean, it's hard for me sometimes to filter. I'm getting better at it.
Thank you.
But I also am mindful though too, because again, it's like, what is the intent behind what's being stated?
Mhm.
Like, are you really genuinely intrigued, right? Because again, it could just be like because it could be based off of experience, it could be based off exposure. Like maybe you've never seen anybody. And so or maybe what you are accustomed to seeing is people not being their authentic self. So when you come across someone who is in their natural beauty, and again, there is nothing wrong with having your face beat to the gods. Do not come and attack me, okay? Like nothing wrong with the enhancement of what's already there. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't hide behind that. That's the thing that I would say. Don't hide behind it. Wear it because you want to enhance what's already there. Don't wear it because you're not happy with the person that's in the mirror. You know, Michael Jackson said, I'm talking to the man in the mirror.
Mm-hmm. Man in the mirror.
I've had this conversation recently with someone.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to look at yourself in the mirror. Now, I was told by somebody,
I push my hair back. Okay.
they said, you need to get in front of the mirror and you need to be butt naked, no clothes
Okay,
on.
that
And
wasn't
you
me.
need to just, no, that was not you.
I had to think that one. Had I told her something? It won't me. Okay.
And you need to just look at yourself. Just look
Mm-hmm.
at you
Mm-hmm. It's a good
and
activity.
get comfortable with you. Well,
Mm-hmm.
see, they didn't have to tell me that, but they didn't really know me. So, because again, for those that do know me, know that the one thing you can say about O is very much comfortable with herself.
Yes.
Okay, 'cause O don't believe in wearing clothes. Okay, she don't believe in
She has on clothes, guys.
clothes, but that's why you just can't be popping up either because I don't be having no clothes. So, but just stand in front of the mirror
Mm-hmm.
and look at yourself and talk to
Mm-hmm.
yourself. You know, they say don't talk to yourself, you're crazy. Well, then just be that then. Because again, you are your toughest critic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what society said. I don't care what your mama said, your daddy said, your cousin. We do not care. What do you think of you? And so the purpose of that is just to get comfortable with you. Every lump, every cellulite, every dent, every scar, every cut, bruise, whatever. Love you. Love you. So that when people have those conversations with you, it don't bother you. And I'm not bothered when people say it. Like in the beginning, it really was kind of irritating because if I've told you once and I've told you twice, every time I see you, I'm not going to keep addressing it. And that's
Your
what
hair,
was
you mean?
happening. I kept addressing it. And so now in 2025, I combed through it. You see it's peaking over here. So hopefully these people will not be coming for me, asking me anymore. Is that because you can see that it is, okay? But again, love you. Love yourself. It's not about the hair, it's not about the makeup, it's not about the lashes, it's not about the nails, it's not about the clothes, cars, house.
No.
It's
Nobody hear that.
about you as the individual, loving you and taking care of you and making yourself feel good, not waiting for an outside person to be like, you look good today. No, baby, when you get up every day and you got breath in your body, you should be like, thank you, Jesus, or
Yep.
whoever it is you praise.
Mm-hmm.
I look good today.
Yes, it is.
Even if you're not looking your best,
You
you
look
look
good
good
today,
today.
honey. Because you're
You
not in the
look good
cancer.
today.
You're not in
Because
the
you
hospital
have to
bed.
put that positive energy out into the atmosphere. Because if you wake up and you say, I look busted, I look toe up, I'm not here, I'm not on my A game. Well, then you're not going to be on your A game because you done spoke that into the universe. And therefore, what happens become a domino effect of that negative energy, that woe is me energy that we've talked about, you know, because it's comfortable to stay there. And the thing is that time has now played out for staying in that little sunken place.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to come on out. It's our time to shine. I think that's Mary Mary. I think it's Mary Mary.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, like it's our time to shine, honey. Like it's too much living that needs to be done. We need to stop in the woe me. We need to stop worrying about what others think about us. Because again, they talked about Jesus. So honey, they're gonna talk about you too. And the thing that you need to understand is you don't care. You don't care. Talk about me. That's a good thing. I remember, I don't know, being in college, I don't know if it was freshman year or sophomore year, but I may have, talked about this, how I had speech and we had to write about something. And I wrote about, my fans. And everybody, in the beginning, they didn't get it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, my fans are my haters. My fans are my people that are against me. My fans are the people that want to put me down and keep me down there in bondage. For what? We making moves over here. We are encouraging each other. We're uplifting each other. So what? My eyes is not the color of yours. Get you some contacts. Okay? Get you some contacts. Contacts ain't going out of style. I know plenty of people with them. We ain't gonna talk about that either. Get you some contacts. You don't like the color of your hair? Baby, go dye it. If you're not sure if that's gonna work for you, go
Wig.
get you a wig. Go get you a wig, or
Mhm.
go get you some sew-ins, some clips, and see if that
Yep.
works before you actually do it. Again,
Yep.
make the changes that you want to make, not because somebody says that you should make it. Because at the end of the day, you have to love yourself. Because if you're doing it for the reasons of other people to please them, you'll never please them, because it's always going to be something wrong, whether it's your hair, your nose. My eyes are chink. They probably big right now looking at them, but they really are chink. And then people be like, when you laughing, can you see? I can still see, even though they like squint. I can still see. Okay. But that don't bother me though. Why? Because I'm comfortable in the skin that I'm in. So you're not your hair. You're not your skin. That does not define you. And until you learn that, you got a hard road in front of you.
Well, Angelia, I think you summed it up. You're not your hair. You're not your skin. We are not our hair. We are not our skin. We are more than that. And we should not let others impress upon us what we should and should not do. And more importantly, who we should or should not be. That's the decision that you make. And it's your decision alone. You control your future. It's just that simple. And every day that you are allowed to breathe, you continually refine what that future is going to be. Now, you can refine it for the positive meaning that you are living your authentic life. You are happy in your skin, whatever your skin is. You are able to deal with the ebbs and flows of life, the ups and downs, the winding roads. You're dealing with it on your own terms, and you're happy, and you're positive, and you are just living your best life. You can do that, or you can let your detractors, your fans, your haters, whatever all those people on Jade gave them names, you can let them determine what your life's going to be like.
Yeah.
But as I always like to say, why are you letting other people determine what your life going to be like, but nobody letting you determine what their life going to be like? Why are you
Facts.
giving your power away? I'm just saying. So you got a decision to make. Is 2020, 2025 going to be the year that you take charge and you become stronger in every aspect of your life? Or is this going to be another year, going to be another groundhog thing?
Yeah.
Now, Angelia, because I'm bringing this to a close, but tell me again, this is the year of the 9, because I'm having a moment here. 9 is still the continuation of the beginning, because 8 is new
Right.
beginnings.
Right.
9 is, remind
It's still,
me?
it's still the beginning.
Yeah, because it really is when the beginnings take hold.
Right.
So this is a 9 year. Because I was on an interview and I said it was 2029 because I was counting the numbers. This is a 9 year. 2024 was 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
So new beginnings. 7, it's completion. 8, new beginnings. This is a year of beginnings. So what's your beginning going to be? I spoke with someone today and I was so pleased at how they spoke. They spoke emphatically about the fact that they were no longer going to shortchange themselves. And
Mm-hmm.
they basically said they know their worth. And if people want to play in their sandbox, they're going to have to pay them what they're worth. I was very
Mm-hmm.
happy for that person because I know their worth. And I know for them to have that sort of mindset, there's been a bit of growth.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a wonderful thing, to know your value and to make sure that other people know it and they respect it. So if you want something different in 2025, it's about understanding your value, understanding who you are authentically, and not letting anyone make you feel less than, and then living your life on your terms. Good, bad, ugly, because it's never going to be perfect every day, because there is nothing perfect.
No.
But there are positives every day. And understand that that's a part of life. So don't give up just because it seems like everything is falling apart. Well, it'd be like that sometime. Yeah, it really do. It'd be like that sometime. It'd be like that in the day. That's life. That's life. Learn to roll with it. Learn your lessons and keep moving. Don't go back. Don't go back.
Don't go back.
Don't go back. We ain't going back. And then, you will see that things that you have been working towards, you'll see them begin to take shape. Believe me, you will see it. But it takes time, and it takes dedication, and it takes work. So, thank you, OnJerya, for helping us to understand that we really do have to live in our authentic bodies, regardless of what others think, and that it is possible. And people are doing it every day. And I strive to maintain it on a daily basis, because life is life. And I have to remind myself, just like I remind you guys. And remember, before you take care of someone else, OnJerya, girl, you know you better take care of yourself first.
Absolutely.
Bye now. Thank you
All
for joining us. Bye-bye.
right.